So what did I say last week? And I'm going to hold to it. We got to toughen up. We got to toughen up. We need to be firm in what we believe. We need to know what we believe. We need to know who we believe in. And we can't do that by listening to somebody else. You got to get in the Word. You got to get in the Word. And you got to let it transform you by the renewing of your mind. By the Word. Faith comes by hearing. Hearing by the Word of God. So you got to get into it. You got to live it. I can teach you, but you got to get into it. You got to apply it. You've got to get it. Because we need to cast all of our cares upon Him because He cares for us. But here's the thing. The closer you get to God, the further away your cares get. And the less important they become. And the more, because the closer you get to Him, the more you realize, maybe some of what I'm going through, He's trying to show me what I don't need. Did I say that out loud?
You sure did.
Darn it. Just maybe. Just a thought. But the closer you get to Him, the more you realize that everything, good and bad, everything is filtered through Him. Everything is allowed by Him. Everything is permitted by Him. That He uses circumstances to get to us. He uses good and bad to teach us. Does that mean I'm being punished when something bad happens? Not always. Sometimes it's a lesson, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's correction. Sometimes it's other people's sin. You know, one man's sin affects us all, right? Okay, what does it mean to pay attention? Okay, so to pay attention is to pay attention with your, I read something in Ezekiel this week that I always say, give us eyes to see and ears to hear and a heart to comprehend, right? Ezekiel said, it said, give us eyes to take notice. Give us ears to hear and cause us to pay attention. Lines up. I got it out of Proverbs initially, but who knew? How many times have I read it and didn't see it? See, that's the thing about the Word. You can read it and read it and read it and go, I've never read that before. Yes, you have. You just didn't see it. So give us eyes to see, to take notice. But that gives it a new little meaning, doesn't it? Yeah, I've read it and I've read it and I've read it. But I didn't take notice. So give us eyes to take notice. So paying attention is listening with your ears, eyes, and heart. And when you go over to the table, you're going to listen with your ears and your, what?
Heart.
Yeah. Okay, because your eyes are going to be watching what you're doing in your hands. Don't pass notes to each other. Did you think I didn't know? Oh, busted. Busted. I won't put you on the carpet. I won't tell you which one of you did it. But don't pass notes to each other because then you're not paying attention to me. You're paying attention to what you want to say to somebody else, okay? Got it? All right, you got to pay attention with your ears and your heart. Okay, all right. How about obedience? Is what? Doing exactly what you're... That's the tough part, huh? Doing exactly what you're told. When you're told, with a happy, submissive spirit. How about order? A place for everything and everything in its place. Okay. Does that mean it can... I have stuff everywhere. They're still in order. Right? Remember I told you it reflects me, right? It's messy on the surface, but open up the cupboards. What happens?
It's neat.
Everything is in its place, right? I can I can be in the dark with my eyes closed and pull out what I need out of my cupboard because I know right where it is. Okay? That's what our insides need to be, in order. Okay? All right. Diligence. Giving my whole self to accomplish a task. And then, forgiveness. This is the one we're working on, right? How many weeks have we been on this one?
3. As many as it
3? We're going to be here a little bit longer too. Hate to tell you. There's so many different aspects to forgiveness. So here's the definition I think I've come up with. Well, put together that's on our childlike level, which I need too. even at my age. Choosing to let go of a wrong, real or imagined. You can make up a wrong in your head. She did that and she meant it, blah, blah. How do you know what she meant? Are you in her head? Uh-oh. Choosing to let go of a wrong, whether it really happened or you just think it happened, and treat the person like it never happened. Ouch. Remember, forgiveness is the act of forgiving is pardoning an offender by which he is considered treated as not guilty. Willing to forgive. To forgive the offense, to send it away, to reject it. That's a choice, right? Let it go.
There's a song.
Yep. Let it go. Okay? Some people used to say, oh, let go and let God. Well, you got to let it go. God can't let it go for you. God cannot forgive for you. Likewise, you cannot forgive for somebody else. You know, that's something that now I have to forgive for, because why are you forgiving for me? First of all, it's not yours. Second of all, you're telling me that you're agreeing with them that I'm in the wrong. Who are you? Don't forgive for somebody else. That's also like picking up an offense for somebody else. Right now, there's someone in my life who has picked up a perceived offense to something they weren't even party to, present, or witnessed. They have perceived, so this someone has perceived an offense and picked it up as though it was theirs against me.
And that's just dumb.
She said it. Moron. Oh, look at that one. Sorry. Did we talk about morons before? Oh, you weren't here. We talked about morons,
The
right?
only thing I would
Which
say
is fool.
to all of that is sometimes, because forgiveness is a choice.
Yes.
And yes, we have to treat the person as if it never happened. But there are some times where it's wise, and you don't have to have a relationship with that person. A lot, you can be
You have to have
cordial.
boundaries.
You can be civil and nice when you see them and act like nothing,
Right.
but you don't have to have a day-to-day relationship.
It's called trust.
Yeah.
That's trust. Okay, trust. I can forgive and not trust because I know their character or lack thereof.
Right.
An abuser, for example.
Mhm.
Okay, someone who's abusive. I don't care if it's mental, emotional, or physical. It's still abuse. Okay? God is not asking you to be a doormat. He's telling you to forgive, but you don't have to subject yourself to that situation again. Okay? There's a big difference. Okay? Nonetheless, so now this situation I was telling you about, somebody who's holding something against me that I didn't even do to somebody else, doesn't even involve them, which is dumb.
Really convoluted.
They have unforgiveness for a perceived incident that never even really transpired for somebody else they weren't even party to. So they're listening to gossip too. Oops. But guess what? I have to forgive. See, we think, oh, they need to get over that, and they need to ask my forgiveness. No, they don't need to. They need to. I need to let it go. Say, okay, Abba. I can't come against something that's contrived, made up, imagined. I can't. There's nothing I can do about that. Absolutely nothing. But forgive. I'm going to treat that person as though they're not treating me that way. I'm going to still behave and be the same person around that person that I normally would, as though they aren't holding this. And eventually, I'm going to hope that Abba hits him with the club and knocks some sense into him. But that's not my job. Should I go? Yeah, I should try. Here's the key. You should try. I should try. I tried. They keep avoiding. There's a telltale sign right there. Somebody avoids you, they have a problem. Okay? I've done what I needed to do. let it go.
No problem.
Let it go. Okay?
I gotta deal with it.
Now, am I telling you that's an easy thing to do? No! But you do it anyway. Okay? You do it anyway. All right. So, blessings or curse, right? Bless those who curse you.
Kill them with kindness. Bless your pea-picking heart.
That's Southern for
Yeah.
moron.
Pretty much.
So, we a couple weeks ago, we talked about don't call somebody a fool. Okay? Well, the Greek word is moros, which is where we get moron. So that's why I keep saying that and cracking up, because don't call somebody a moron, because you'll be judged. So we can say, that was moronic, right? That was foolish, but not you're a fool. We don't. Okay? There's a difference between calling the act foolish and calling a person foolish. All right? So difference. Okay. What's the root of forgiveness? Chesed, love, right? Okay, so today I've got another one for you guys. This one's very important. I'm not sure any of you have heard this. The pride of the young is their strength. You guys had all that energy, right? You worked hard for me all week. See, the pride of the young is their strength. You're young too, so you still have strength. We still have strength because we're young at heart, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're only
Okay.
as old as you feel.
There you go. But the dignity of the old is their gray hair. Oh, do we have old here?
The dignity of the oldest.
Sim, do we have old here?
I hate
We don't? Do we have old here? Mm-hmm. You may think mom and dad are old and your aunt is old, but guess what? They're not. They're not. So, see, they get off today. We got three of them. Three of them get off today. We got the young, we got those who are getting off, and we got the old. Or, well, no, four. You're still, yeah. So we got four of you. So we got four of you that you're off the hook today.
See, y'all are our pride, but we're your dignity.
I like that. All right, let me continue. The glory of the young man is their strength. That's the ESV version. The one I read you first was the complete Jewish Bible, okay? But in the English version, it says the splendor of old men is their gray hair. Okay. Now here's one. I want to know if you have ever heard this one. Stand up in the presence of a person with gray hair. Show respect for the old. Do you do that? See, it wasn't too long ago that when someone older, there's a few of us in the room, a little more than a few, when they would walk into a room, the young would stand up, even the middle-aged, even you four off the hook. They would stand up. It was out of honor. It was out of respect. What you were doing was acknowledging the older. You were showing honor, respect. Okay? So, if you were all sitting down and someone older walked in, you would stand up. Men used to show that kind of honor to women as well. A woman would come after serving and working all day. If they'd walk in the room or sit at the table, he would get up and move her chair and cause her to sit as the queen of the house that she's supposed to be. Oops. Oops. I don't say that too often. It's called respect. Respect is showing deference to someone that you honor. I wish I could remember the name of the movie. It was based on a true story, and it was a young kid whose father died, and they did the dogs, the sleds. They would do, I did it right, whatever, however you say that word. And so he ran the race for his father, and he was young. He was a very young, like 12, 13, 14 years old, very young. And he was racing against older men. And some of them were conniving, and some of them were underhanded and shady, and Evil's a good word. And they lied, okay, and this and that. And one of them came up to him and he said, "No, sir, I respectfully disagree." Oh. In other words, I honor you because of your age, but no, because you're wrong. That took wisdom for a young man. He had to grow up on that trip. He had to get tough on that trip. Ooh. Don't worry, some of us older still need to toughen up. Okay, how did I get there? Lord, how did I get there? Respect.
That's the new word.
That's the new word,
Here's a
respect.
piece of advice to the young. I'm old and wise because God took care of me when I was young and stupid.
What happens if we get to be old and stupid?
Yeah, I was gonna say, even a fool is deemed wise if they keep their
Mouth shut.
just
I
saying.
love that proverb.
I do too. In other words, if you think you know and you think you're smart, bite your tongue and swallow the blood. You will look smart that way. All right. The Hebrew word for respect is to honor, to adorn, to pay honor, to show partiality. Respect, to regard, to consider with some degree of reverence. Okay, hot seat time. Do you honor your mom or your dad?
Do I?
Yes, you do.
Oh, child. How old is she?
Old,
See? She's still the child.
but she's still my mom. I still respect her, even though I could take her out, but still.
So, Exodus says, honor your father and your mother so that you may live long in the land which Adonai your God is giving you. You know, it's the first commandment with a promise, right? So, you guys have to think about this all week now. When mom or dad tells you to do something, are you being obedient or dishonoring? Ooh. Ouch. Children, in Ephesians, what you should do in union with the Lord, if you say you believe God, if we say we're His, then you need to obey your parents, for this is right. Honor your father and your mother. This is the first commandment that embodies a promise. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven. Now I'm getting on touchy ground here. But the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. You know, we've talked before about where he says, you know, I don't know you, depart from me. But I did this and this and this. Did you honor your father and your mother? Oops. Ouch. Ouch. Remember I told you last week? I'm going to pick on you now. At your age, you think you know everything and you know the right way and you're going to do it. And we've told you, if you do it that way, we've been down this road before, it leads to this. And you're like, no, but you didn't do it like this. No, we probably didn't do it like that. You probably did it a little bit better than that. We still got it wrong. Learn from our mistakes. Learn from the gray hair. Learn from...
Times may be different, but stupid isn't.
That's right. The times may be different, but you're right. The attitude isn't different. The circumstance might be different, but the action is still the same. There's nothing new under the sun. It's all been done before. All of it.
Yeah, except for, you know, when we were kids, we didn't record it on YouTube and all that crap. So you didn't get to see that.
There wasn't evidence.
There wasn't evidence.
So with respect means to regard, to pay attention. So to honor or respect, you need to pay attention, listening with your ears, eyes, and heart, to what your parents say. regard, to esteem or hold in respect and affection. Do you walk away and mutter under your breath?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
That's rebellion. That's rebellion. And what is rebellion? Rebellion is as
The
the,
sin of witchcraft.
and that is an abomination to God. Oops. Am I talking just to you? Am I talking just to you? How about you? Am I talking just to you? Can I be talking to you? Yes, I am talking to you, but not just to you, right? Am I talking just to you? I'm not talking just to you, but I'm talking to you, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So if you have disrespect or dishonor toward the older, toward your parents, then you want to go and talk to God. He's going to go, excuse me? Because if you don't honor your mom and dad and you don't honor the older, how are you going to honor God? You can't, it's contradictory, okay? Because if you say, oh God, I love you and I honor you and I'm going to obey you. Okay, I told you to honor your father and your mother. Oops. So if you're saying you honor me, but you aren't honoring your parents, you're not obeying. Right? Okay. So we really have to look at, it's always the heart, right? It's always the heart. Okay. To esteem, to hold in respect and affection. Correct? Okay. Look at what I circled up there. To value. To value. So see, what you're doing is you're belittling your parents. And if you belittle or lessen the value of your parents, then you're not honoring. Okay? And then the one that I circled down there, it says the people regard, forget pastor there, okay? Maybe it would be a teacher. Maybe it would be your parent. Maybe it would be your grandparent. And they treat him with great kindness. That's chesed, love, mercy, okay? All right. If you don't, your motives are wholly selfish. Oops. Oops. Okay. You think you got it? Okay, sometimes honor down here at 11, it's a privilege of rank or birth. Okay? Birth meaning I'm born a king, or I'm born in royalty, or I'm born in the line of the priesthood. Rank would be maybe a soldier. There's also showing deference and privilege to an office versus a person.
Right.
Okay? All right? But also in ranking of age. So that goes back to honoring the gray head, right? To honor, to revere, to respect, to treat with deference and submission. Oh, that submission is part of obedience, right? Okay, to raise to distinction. In other words, this is my mother. She's above other women. This is my mother. This is my father. They have value and importance, and I treat them that way. Does that make sense? That's what honor and respect is.
And then it's going to get to the point where you say, okay, so, but they don't do anything to earn my honor and respect.
They don't deserve it.
They don't deserve it.
Is that what God says?
Their character is,
But God put them in that position,
that-
so we have to honor
it comes
that
to
position.
that though.
It does. Okay, that's
It
that's
does.
that's good. That's good.
It
But
came
you know
to
what?
you. It
Yep.
came to you.
Yep.
You know.
So, I am commanded to honor. Period.
I know.
Okay. So my parents are my parents. Okay. My mother's an inveterate liar. How do I honor that? Because I learned from my mother what I didn't want to be. I learned from my mother valuable lessons. She gave me life. I wouldn't be here if she had not given me life. Oh. Okay. You can still give honor where honor is due. I will still speak to her respectfully. Okay. Will I trust what she says? No. I will not. That would be foolish. Okay? As an adult, I recognize that. As a child, I didn't see it. And as a child, God will make a way for you. You are commanded to honor, okay? You are. And as I said with that incident earlier with the young man in the Iditarod, did I say it right? Iditarod. He recognized because of rank, he said, "No, sir." He acknowledged, "No, sir, I will not." Okay? He's also being honest. Okay? So you can be respectful. You can make an appeal based on scripture. Okay? But you're still commanded to honor. There's lots of different levels of obedience and honor and respect. Okay? But for purposes of today, to honor and respect, yeah. But you can also honor and respect each other. That has nothing to do with rank. That has everything to do with, love. What am I supposed to do? Love my neighbor as myself? You know what a trespass is? A trespass would be a sin or an offense, okay? It's an offense or an act that injures or annoys somebody. Uh-oh, do you annoy your sister? How about your brother? Uh-oh, look at that. Do you annoy your brother? Oh, do you annoy your sister? Look at these smiles. They're like, you see, you guys are wise. You're wise for not answering. You see, even a fool is deemed wise when they keep their little mouth shut. An act that injures or annoys is a trespass. Did mom sometimes ever say, you know what, you took that a little too far? That comes right out of this word, to intrude, to go too far. Okay? So if you are purposely harassing or provoking, fathers, now I'm going to pick on fathers, although he just walked out. Fathers, don't provoke your children. That means moms, don't provoke your children to anger. That's a trespass. Yeah. See, you thought I was just picking on your children. Go grab your stuff, get your stuff out. Get pencils. If you're going to get pencils, get them out, get quiet. There's also a difference between a brother and a believer. I mean, like an abuser or professor, So if your brother sins against you, you forgive him how many times? Over and over again. Okay? And you do try to restore relationship if they're truly a brother. But if they're truly a brother, if they've been aware of their portion, then they'll change too. And if they don't, then I kind of question whether there's a brother. We've got to be discerning.